The melting pot, rest in peace. That's the focus of tonight's angle. Which is a better approach? Putting America first and Americans first, or putting ethnic grievance first? Well, if you choose the former option, you already know whose policies are really making life more affordable.
We have more investment in our country than any country in history. We're over $18 trillion as of this moment, and we're going to be maybe at 20 or 21 trillion by the time I finish up my first year. If you look at affordability, which they campaigned on, they lied because they talked about, oh, prices are up. No, prices are down under the Trump administration, and they're down substantially. Energy prices are down by 30, 35, 40%. Gasoline is way down. And the other big thing is inflation is way down.
On all fronts, the president is doing everything he can to drive costs down and opportunities up. But if this doesn't somehow compute for you, I don't know, you're either a product of a bad education, or you're suffering from TDS, or you think money grows on trees, maybe. But many of those same folks believe that, wow, it's great that the old Democrat dinosaurs are almost extinct. Pelosi did her best to hang on, but she couldn't ward off the socialist vultures, and Schumer's days are numbered as well. That's cause for celebration, right? Well, the new left is amassing power, and they're holding on to power. That's a means to an end for them, because their goal is to dismantle the so-called systems of oppression they think stymie true progress.
Guys, it's Sunday. I've already said this so many times. Please sign up to Canvass.
Hey, everybody. What's up? Hello, everyone. It's been a minute. How is everybody?
But behind that little folksy TikTok outreach of theirs is a constant stream of bitterness. They hate the America that elected Donald Trump, and they want that America punished into submission. So this is why AOC, Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, now Zohra Mamdani, spend most of their time planting seeds of division, which requires catering, of course, to ethnic, sexual, and cultural factions. Their affordability pitch may seem to be universal and sweet, but it's packaged largely for non-native-born Americans who we know now were instrumental to Mamdani's victory.
This is a city for all of us. This is a city where all of us belong. I would be the first Muslim mayor in New York City's history. And it would be an illustration of the fact that anyone, no matter where they're from, no matter their faith, no matter which borough, that they too could lead this city.
Dan ka digesa, Boshado, Isku, Duban. Whether you come from Mogadishu, Getaway, Hargeisa, Bosaso, Medoa, or Kismayo, Minneapolis is your city. You are a vital part of the fabric that makes our city strong, diverse, and united.
Assimilation is a four-letter word for them. Yeah, in Zohra Mamdani's New York, you don't assimilate, you agitate. And likewise in Minneapolis, Detroit, LA, everywhere there's a concentration of newer immigrants and refugees. Same deal. We've slid into becoming what Teddy Roosevelt warned of, basically a polyglot boarding house. He warned against that. The experiment of multiculturalism is seen in the violent pro-Palestinian protests. It's seen at universities offering degrees in various ethnic studies, which traffic in anger. And the idea that the American melting pot was beautiful, that idea, that's gone. Remember, that metaphor traces back to the 1700s, and it was supposed to capture how immigrants could come to our shores from varying ethnic groups and nationalities and then meld together to become uniquely American.
It's fitting to leave one final thought, an observation about a country which I love. It was stated best in a letter I received not long ago. A man wrote me and said, "You can go to live in France, but you cannot become a Frenchman. You can go to live in Germany or Turkey or Japan, but you cannot become a German, a Turk, or Japanese. But anyone from any corner of the earth can come to live in America and become an American."
Now, that idea was unconventional, to say the least, because it was an acknowledgement that obsessing over tribal identity was very limiting and even dangerous for a nation to survive and thrive What it needed was a push for unity, unity of purpose, and a people with a common bedrock of values. Now, the melting pot meant you spoke English in public, you taught your children to be respectful of our traditions, and you taught them to be patriotic to their core. You memorized the national anthem. You attended Memorial Day parades. You knew what the 4th was really all about. Now, among my mom's family, who emigrated from Poland, becoming an American was a privilege. They considered it a deep blessing. It certainly wasn't an invitation for resentment and bitterness. That's how most immigrants are and were. But for today's Democrats who traffic in recriminations, the message is always the same. If someone else has something here in America that you don't have and that you want, it needs to be taken from them. Just blame the corrupt capitalist system and promise a new paradise for the proletariat. It's the language of revolutionaries.
If tonight teaches us anything, it is that convention has held us back. We have bowed at the altar of caution, and we have paid a mighty price. Too many working people cannot recognize themselves in our party. And too many among us have turned to the right for answers to why they've been left behind.
So you're pandering to circles of grievance. Socialists, always make these grandiose promises, but they know they can't and they won't deliver on them. They're all giveaways to the multicultural crowd.
Together, New York, we're going to freeze the... Together, New York, we're going to make buses fast and... Together, New York, we're going to deliver universal...
But the truth is, we've seen this movie and we know how it ends. With less unity, with less prosperity, less safety, and certainly with less freedom. Socialism, progressivism, neo-Bolshevism, whatever you want to call it, it's always a scam. The pandering is merely a cover to promote collectivism, where success is punished and dependency is expected. Today at the White House, Viktor Orban, the PM of Hungary, and President Trump discussed the perils of mass migration and the resistance that Orban gets in fighting it. To the socialists in Europe and here, the goal of preserving a nation state is considered anathema.
In Hungary, the number of illegal migration is like that, zero. If somebody would like to come to Hungary, first he should ask for that. If you give the permission, they can step in. Nobody can step on the territory of Hungary without having a permission from the Hungarian authorities. We are under sanctions, financial sanctions of European Union, because we don't let the illegal migrations to come to Hungary.
If you look at Europe, they've made tremendous mistakes on immigration. It's really hurting them very badly. I happen to think he was right, because their whole fabric has changed. I mean, you go to some of the countries, they're unrecognizable now because of what they've done. And Hungary is very recognizable.
So despite relentless criticism from the globalists, Donald Trump, he's never stopped warning about the dangers of mass illegal immigration. In America, if the melting pot melts down completely, everyone's going to get burned, except, of course, the elites speaking in foreign tongues or with phony accents, as they set the rules for the fools. And that's the angle.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.